Hello and welcome to this Expressive Arts Live. My name is Ale and I use they, he, and she pronouns, and we're just getting started by listening to some music and vibing in our seat, or if you're at home and you can stand and just dance with this music. If you feel uncomfortable dancing, remember that any kind of movement is movement, so simple finger dance can work, or something like just tapping your foot. You can't see it, but I'm tapping my foot. And we're just opening up our senses and welcoming all our imagination and creativity to come join us for this Expressive Arts Live. Little clap, little snap. Roll it in, move it back, move it forward. Do a little hand wave, hand dancing. And happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday before a long weekend. It's exciting. We're just grooving, getting ourselves ready to create. Awesome, awesome. All right, so thank you for joining me for that dance movement warm-up. I've got a poem here I'd like to share with you. It's from the book Nocturnal, and this is just, we're moving to open up our senses now. Our senses are awakened and alive, and we're here to get some inspiration and be with our imagination as we listen to this poem. Look closely at this courage. Watch how it grows through the cracks under their feet. Celebrate your survival. Find your arms and hold on to hope, knowing it is yours to lose. In the end, you don't need anyone else to make you feel alive. I dream of an almighty night full of wonder and a north star that knows the way. Here is a little image that came with the poem. Yeah, so I chose this poem today because I'm thinking about loss of friendships, loss of connections right now in my life. That's what's going on, and so I'm thinking about kind of things that are lost, but I still feel hope, that there's hope. In the end, you don't need anyone else to make you feel alive, and that is super true, because we are our own original best friends, and we are our own best friends that will be guiding us throughout our entire life. I get very excited when I talk about this because it's exciting. There's only one you and only one person who's experiencing things the way that you experience it. So even though someone can understand what you're going through, maybe have a similar experience, no one experiences like you do, and so that is super special, and that's something that you have sacred within your own relationship with yourself. So all right, so now I'm going to invite you folks at home. We all have different materials, but gather something that you would like to create with, whether that be paint, watercolor, pen and paper, and you want to write, charcoal, chalk, crayons, markers. Gather the things that you want to create and listen to your intuition. We're going to create something together. So I have my notebook here that I'm going to pull out, pull out an empty sheet of paper, and I brought out these paint markers here that I like to work with. So I'm going to just open these up and start creating. I have not many pages left that are empty, so there's some kind of journaling here on this side. But I'm going to try to create something while showing you. So I'm getting the desire to just open them all up and work with all of them at the same time. So we'll see how that goes. And folks at home, let me know what you're working on. I'd love to hear what you're doing at home. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh, my purple's not showing up too well. Let's try again. There you go. So I'm not really concerned of what is happening, but I'm definitely enjoying the shapes and the movement that I'm creating. I like all the color that's happening, to be honest, actually. All right, there you go. Not sure if you could see that. Looks like some fun waves and colors. And remember, you do not have to be an artist to join us or to create. We're here in a non-judgmental space. We're creating it for ourselves. And I'd like to say that we invite these images to come in as if they're guests in our home. And I know that most folks wouldn't, wouldn't have a friend over and just make fun of their clothing or something like that. So I'm inviting you to do the same thing for your images, to give them the same courtesy as if they were your friends coming to have tea with you. So, oh, I stopped sharing, but I just grabbed my pen. It's actually pink, and I've started making little circles in it. And here I'm going to closer. My light just fell, but I'm going to pull the camera in closer here so I can try and draw and show you at the same time. Talk about this. So I like to get real here on these Expressive Arts Lives. I did the Instagram one just before this, and I was feeling a bit of sadness and loss just because of what's going on in my life. Kind of had a friend that I sort of stopped talking to, and they reached out, and now I'm kind of feeling that we might not actually have a reconnection. So I'm feeling sad about that. But that is okay, we all are just going through what we're going through. And we're learning to connect and reconnect in different ways during this time of social isolation. So I'm just drawing these little circles here, seeing what comes up. And I invite you at home to notice what you notice about what you're creating. Feelings might come up. And just invite you to notice them and be with them as you create. Just use this as your time to be self-reflective and kind of meditative. This is relaxing for me. I'm not really expecting anything out of this. All right, actually, I think I'm feeling like I can write something about it. Just looking at it, I don't know if you can see what I see, but it kind of looks like there's little eyes in there. It's making me think of feelings, emotions, kind of like all riled up. It's sort of confused. It's colorful, so there's a lot of goodness in it. I'm going to take the other page and I'm going to write about what I see and how I feel looking at this image. Well, maybe I'll find space next to it. So. Okay, so I just wrote a little bit here about this image, and I tried to come up with a title for it. So I'll just read it to you. And if you've written something at home, I invite you to read it out loud, because it gives you two ways to be with yourself: the first time writing it, and the second time you are kind of like a witness of your writing. So I'm not sure if it's going to make sense, but we're going to read it here together. A sea of emotions, friendships fallen, and emotions rising like a wave. Through the waves, I see memories of our soul's connection. Being here, being with all that comes and goes in this great big sea. And I called it the Great Big Sea. So yeah, for me, this kind of feels like just like a representation of all my feelings that I have around what's going on with me and my friend. Just like, you know, feelings of loss, feelings of just kind of like confusion maybe. It just feels all maybe anxious as well. Yeah, so this is my image, the Great Big Sea of Emotions. And I'm just going to check the timing here. And I think I'll play a song, or I'll try to play something on my guitar. It'll be intuitive, but I just want to kind of like relax and soothe my nerves right now after seeing the Great Big Sea. So maybe I'll write or I'll play guitar in response to my image. So here's another example of how you can create in your practice using different modalities and being in conversation with yourself through different ways of being creative. All right, so thanks for waiting there. And I'm going to just kind of perch up have my drawing here close to me so I can see it. And I'm going to just create kind of spontaneously. So we'll see what comes up. So that was my guitar response to this image of my great big sea of emotion. So I feel like it was soothing, and it was also kind of it had some dissonance in there, and I think that kind of relates to this image as well, because it's kind of like messy and there's lots of feelings in there. So thanks for the heart and thanks for the love. That was my response to this image. I hope that my walking you through my creative process has helped you and given you some examples or some guidance into ways that you can create with yourself. If you want to share what you've created during this Expressive Arts Live, we'd love to see what you've created. So you can send us some images or music or songs or videos if you did some dancing or anything like that, or photography. You can send them to our KSAC page. So this was our Expressive Arts Live for today. If you also have some ideas or things you want to see me do, please send a comment or write us directly, and we will be happy to try out some of your suggestions. So thanks for joining me. I'll be on Expressive Arts Live again on Instagram at 11 Eastern Standard Time on Friday next week, and then I jump on over here to the Facebook page and do the Expressive Arts Live, usually around 11:30, 11:40 is around the time that I come on here on the Facebook page. So I hope to see you all again next week, and thank you for being witness to my creative process and to creating, hopefully at home with your own self and your creative, wonderful person that you are. And I hope you have a great weekend, a great long weekend this weekend, and I will see you all next time. So bye for now.